जय गजानन गणेशाय नमस्तुभ्यं हेरंबाय एकदंतिने स्वानंद वासिने तुभ्यं ब्रह्मणस्पतये नमः. So we are talking about the child Vinayaka who was born in the house of Kashyapa Rishi, and in that small, in that infant age, in that infant size, he was able to kill so many asuras and rakshasas in his childhood. All who came to test him, to kill him, to test him, and to harm him also, he simply killed them. There was no mercy, nothing. Everybody were killed. So we continue with that story. We saw how that the child Vinayaka was sent by Kashyapa Rishi to act as the chief priest for the puja at the Kashi king's palace. So he arrived at Kashi King's palace. Already Mudgalacharya had, this was Krita Yuga. So in Krita Yuga, Mudgalacharya was the chief, was the main guru, Vishwaguru at that time. So we remember that Veda Vyasa is born only in the Dwapar Yuga. In Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga, we have other acharyas like Mudgalacharya. So Mudgalacharya was the rishi at that time, and he had already prepared the people, saying that if you have the darshan of Vinayaka, you will be purified instantly. All your sins will melt away. So all of them were standing with Arati just to worship Vinayaka when he arrived at Kashi. So then Vinayaka was in every square he was received with, and with folded hands and with food. And he was worshipped. They garlanded him, and even at that time, some there were two rakshasas in the crowd who tried to kill him, who had mingled among the crowd, and they tried to capture him, kill him. So at that time, Vinayaka spotted them. He just caught hold of both of them, banged them against each other, and flung them in the sky. So in this way, he then another one Rakshasa had come who converted himself into a boulder, and he tried to roll down from the hillock and come and fall at on Vinayaka. But Vinayaka just simply shattered it with his fist. So in this way, finally, Vinayaka reached the palace of Kashi king. Then, after performing the ceremonies there, where he had to perform as a chief priest, Muni Dharmadatta, of that Kashi, he invited Vinayaka to come to his house. So he took Vinayaka to his residence. On the way, he killed two asuras who had disguised as donkeys. Then he killed another two asuras, Kama and Krodha, who had disguised as elephants. So finally they reached the Muni's house. So all these are happening one after the other. The Muni finally reached the house. He worshipped Vinayaka devotedly, and then he offered his two daughters, Siddhi and Buddhi, to him in marriage, to that Bala Vinayaka, Siddhi and Buddhi. Just then, a fierce demoness called Jiramba appeared there. She appeared like an enchanting and a beautiful lady. She massaged Vinayaka's feet with some poisonous oil. So the Lord realized this, and when he saw that this oil was not good and this was her evil intention, he immediately killed her. Then on the fourth day, on the Chaturthi day, some formidable daityas like Jwalamukha, Vyagra, and Kurel Mahabala arrived there. These three Rakshasas arrived there. So Vinayaka, with his yogic powers, recognized and killed them instantly. Then he used his power of Maya and again became a small child, and he started playing with the children there, pretending to be unaware of all these incidents. Suddenly, like how Krishna also, as a little Krishna, suddenly he would come onto the Shesh Naga Kalya, and he danced on his arm and killed him. And then again, after finishing killing, as though nothing happened, go and play with the children in the village. Similarly, Vinayak also was doing like that. So when in that playful mood, this Brahma, Vishnu, all from the heaven, they were observing all these leelas of Vinayaka. They came down and they were witnessing, and they were overwhelmed. So on the fifth day, that is the fourth day of the lunar month, on that Chaturthi day, it was Shukla Chaturthi. At that time, the king was wanting to perform the puja, but at that time, there was a Muni Brushundi. Muni Brushundi had done a Manasa puja in his house. That Muni Brushundi, he never went to any temples. He only worshipped Ganesha. And he only did Manasa puja, and that puja reached Vinayaka. So Vinayaka was, he narrated to King Kashyapa, sorry, King of Kashi, that see my devotee Muni Brishundi has finished his worship, or he has done his Manasa Puja. I have received it, so I'm blessing him. So the king was surprised. What is this? What is this Manasa Puja? Somebody doing somewhere? How it is reaching you? So then Vinayaka explained about this Brushundi. There's a great devotee called Brushundi. He is very dear to me. In fact, he is the most ardent devotee of all my devotees. And he's such a devotee that he singularly worships only me. He thinks that there's nobody else to be worshipped as worship. And so he doesn't even go to any temple to worship. He worships only at home, and he worships me alone. So this king was very surprised. So who's this king? Who's this Brushinde? I want to visit him. So Vinayaka says, okay, go and visit and come. So this king, he takes his horse and some all his people, paraphernalia, other people along with him, and he goes to this forest where this Muni's ashram is there. So when he arrived at the Muni's ashram, when he saw this Brushundi, he was so shocked. Why he was shocked was this Brushundi had a trunk of an elephant. He had a trunk of an elephant. So he was so surprised. And then I have come, the king is telling this Brushundi, I've come to your ashram because Vinayak Gananatha, born as a son to Kashyapa Rishi and his wife as Vinayaka, is visiting my palace. And this morning, when I went to do his puja, he was actually receiving your puja, which you performed here. So I was so shocked that how could this happen? So that is, and with Vinayaka's permission, I've come to take you to him. So I'm coming. I have come. I have invited here. I had invited him to be the high priest for my son's marriage. But when I saw this, so now I'm requesting you, please come to Kashi. So this Yogendra Mahamuni was surprised. This Brishindi Maharaj. He said, I don't do any partial worship. I don't worship even part ansha incarnations of Ganesha. I only worship Lord Ganesha, totality, Purna Ganesha. All others are Amshas. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, all are Amshas only. So I don't worship these Amsha incarnation. I only worship the Lord Brahmanaspati Ganesha, who has a trunk of an elephant. So, so then what to do? This king was see Vinayaka, when he incarnates, sometimes he doesn't have the trunk. Particularly as a Bala Vinayaka and all, they don't come with a trunk. They just come in their normal form. I only worship with a trunk. So then, if he does not have a trunk of an elephant, then I will not worship him. So he says, so go back to Kashi. I shall not come to Vinayaka. So when the king heard of this, he said he just went round the Muni and he said, "See, now I cannot immediately return. My horses are so tired. They will have to rest because just we have traveled so long. They are so exhausted. So I'll have to take a rest. I cannot immediately return." So the Muni said, "Close your eyes." And he closed the eyes. Next moment, he put them all in Kashi. He transported then when the king opened his eyes, he saw that he was in his palace. So when he saw what is this magic, he was right in front of Vinayaka. So he did pranams to Vinayaka, and Vinayaka, he told what happened. So the king narrated everything. I saw there, I went and I told him that to come, he's not coming. And suddenly I'm opening my eyes. He told me to close eyes, and when I opened eyes, you're in front of me. How this happened? So now this Gananayaka sent, he also the same way, Gananayaka sent him back to Brushundi and tell him, using his powers of Maya, he sent back to Brushundi. So when the king suddenly he found himself in front of Brushundi, Brushundi now was surprised. Are, how just now I sent you to the palace. How come you're back again? He said, just the way you sent me there, the same way he sent me back here. So now Prishindi realized, okay, this is Gananayaka himself. He is not this anybody Amsh incarnation and all. So okay. So then he realized, yes. So this is Vinayaka. So I must visit him. He was so ecstatic. He started, the tears started flowing from his eyes, and he started rolling on the floor. The king was shocked to see such a devotion in this fellow, the bhakti. And so, after regaining his composure, Brishindi decided, said, okay, come on, we'll go. But I cannot come on your horseback and all. To meet such Vinayaka, I have to walk on foot, because that is a sadhana. That will be the that is, at least I should endure some physical physical what to say, suffering to go and meet him. Means it's like a sadhana, penance, like to meet such a great this Gananayaka himself. So seeing his determination, the king said nothing, but the moment he set his foot outside, Kashi itself was in front of, under the feet of Brushundi. Vinayaka had also come to Kashi's palace. The whole king of Kashi's palace was just right in front of Brushundi, right there. The Prithvi also brought Kashi to Brushundi. So the king now was amazed. He said, what is all this happening? Kashi herself has come here because of the power of your penance. So then the king, when he saw that, he first performed the puja of this Brushundi. Then, when Vinayaka from inside heard that that this has happened, so Vinayaka, he assumed his Virat form as Vinayaka, riding on the mouse with a Sheshnag tied around his leg, with Chaturbhuja Dhari, and with all his weapons, Pasha, Ankusha, and the hand showing fearlessness. In that form, he manifested before Brushundi. Brushundi, seeing that huge Vinayaka himself, he was just beyond himself. Like he started praising with devotion. He started singing bhajans and stotras. He worshipped him. And he says, I'm feeling so blessed, O Vibho, that I'm able to have your darshan. So he said, Gananatha, please grant me a boon that this place where I'm staying will be a wish fulfilling place. That is called Asha Puraka, fulfiller of all wishes. So do not go away from here. So Vignapa granted that. And also he asked for this, that let me be considered a greater devotee than Mudgala himself. Give me that blessing, because I am having a shund also. He's having the trunk, because out of so much of devotion. So because when you're identified with the object of your deity, you become that form. Like they say in generally it is observed, when the wife is so devoted to her husband, in the later ages, they look alike. Both of them look alike. you know so they come to almost that kind of physical features start matching each other. So so there is some truth in that way. So Brushindi had developed that trunk because of his devotion and identification with the object of his devotion. So the king was thinking to himself, imagine what kind of a devotee this person must be, that his intensity of devotion and his worship is so strong, that he was even able to develop this trunk of an elephant, uh, just by that. So Brushindi, After that, Gananatha, the king was thinking to himself. So worshipping Gananatha himself is like a total worship. It is like a worship of all other deities because others are only ansh part. So worshipping Gananatha himself is like the worship of the totality of all the deities. So then, now he was curious. Now, Prahlada, he was listening to the story. Gritsamada Rishi is telling Prahlada the story of how Brushundi how King of Kashi had met Brushundi. So then Prahlada is asking Gritsamada, how did this Brushundi, um, mm, tell me about this Brushundi. What was his story about? So he by doing Manasa Puja, he's able to develop the trunk of an elephant. So also Mudgalacharya was also telling Daksha Prajapati about the story. So then Gritsamada says, okay, I'll tell you the story about this Brushundi. Brushundi was actually one Nama karke one, this Nanduri village. He was a fisherman, Nandura village. He was a notorious person actually. He was a thief. He would go into the forest and waylay all the people who trespassed that side, who went through the forest. He would burgle them, take away all their things, steal away their clothes, steal away their wealth and everything. And those, if they didn't have any things to give him, then he would plunder them to death. In this way, he had become very rich, and he had gathered a lot of wealth. But even like he was so sinful, he had gathered so much sins in this manner that Brahma and Sheshnag and everybody were also surprised, and they were unable to keep a count of all this, the innumerable sins that he committed. So then they actually, Brahma and all, thought that if we keep a track of this fellow's sins, then we will become sinful. So they stopped counting. They stopped keeping a track of his sins, of his misdeeds. He had killed many women, cows, children, Brahmins. Mother Earth could no longer bear that sinful deeds. Then one day, one day in the forest, a wealthy man was passing by. So this Lama saw that a wealthy man. So he said, okay, this fellow is going to have a lot of money. So he took out his sword and started chasing him. That man that really ran for his life. So he ran so fast. Finally, Nama could not, he got tired. Nama got really tired chasing him. He got exhausted and collapsed to the ground. So now, by the time that fellow had already gone ahead, so he just relaxed in that place. Nama said, "Okay, abhi, mission unfulfilled." So he sat there, and after some time, after having rested, he just felt that he should refresh himself. So there was a pond nearby. He went to that pond and he had a bath. That kund, he had a bath, and when he came out, he found that his sins had started diminishing. That huge amount of sins which even Brahma, Shesha could not count, even they lost track of it. That sin started diminishing. That was the effect of that kund at that kshetra. Any pilgrimage centers, they usually have ponds. And even if you just dip your leg in that pond, many of your sins are washed off. So this fellow had a dip in that pond and his sins had started diminishing. What had happened as a result of that, what happened was he started realizing that he was committing sins. Awareness started coming. He started developing an awareness. What he was doing was all wrong. That he had been killing actually. And if I'm for all the sins that I've committed, I'm deserving of hell. I'll go to Naraka. So when he started thinking that, he felt even several kalpas will be required to wash away my sins. Means I will have to suffer because that many sins I have done. So this now Mudgalacharya was narrating all the story to Daksha Prajapati. Prahlada was listening to Gritsamada, this narration. So Prahlada is asking Gritsamada, What was the nature? What was so important about that pond that even this Nama was since got washed away? So please tell me about that. So Grutsamada Rishi says that it was a Ganesh devotee who was Grutsamada, who was a great Ganesh devotee. He said, "Yes, definitely. I'm happy to tell you about that story. I'll definitely tell you." So he continues with the story of that how that pond became so pure and impact powerful that it could wash away somebody else's sins. Once Vishwakarma, Surya story. It was a conversation. Now, Krisamada is narrating to Prahlada a conversation between Surya and Yama. Surya is telling Yama this story. Surya is telling Yama what? Vishwakarma, who is the architect of the universe. Vishwakarma only is the who created the palaces of all Indra, Varuna, all of them, the architect of this universe, chief engineer, celestial engineer and architect. He had offered Sanjana, his daughter. Sanjana was his daughter. He offered Sanjana he thought, now to have Sanjana as a daughter, he had prayed to Adi Shakti Mahadi Maya, that I want to have you. He had done prayer for 100 years to propitiate Adi Maya, and he asked her that you be born as my daughter. So Devi had agreed. So that was this Sanjana. So Sanjana was actually Maya, a Maya born from Adi Maya. And so this Vishwakarma felt that if Adi Maya is born as my daughter, she should have a deserving husband. She should have an equally deserving husband. So he thought of giving her in marriage to Surya. Surya is the sun. He is regulating the whole world. And everything is regulated by Surya. And Vishwakarma is preparing all things of the architect of this universe. So all will be regulated by Surya. So by son-in-law. So his daughter should be given in marriage to Surya. So in that way, he gave his daughter in marriage to Surya. They were happy together, and Sanjana bore two sons and one daughter. First son was Vaivasvata Manu, second son was Yama, and the youngest daughter was the Yamuna river. Surya had three children with Sanjana, and first son was Vaivasvata Manu, and second son was Yama, and the third one, who's a daughter, was the Yamuna river. So all of them were very dharma, the dharmic. Surya itself is the regulator of time. Means the Kala Chakra moves according to him only. Means the sunrise and sunset, all days are regulated by seasons, are regulated by him. But now Surya was so hot. I mean, the heat Sanjana could not bear. She could not bear the heat of Surya. So what she did was, she was Madhi Maya. So she created another one lady just like her, was called Chaya. Chaya means shadow. So in the night, Chaya. So that she created one Chaya, another person just look alike, same like her, because she was Maya herself. And she told her, now you take care of my children. Now I cannot bear the heat of Surya, so I'm going away. You take care of my children, all these three children, Vaivasvata Manu, Yama, and Yamuna river, Yamuna, and I will go and you take my place. But don't tell Surya that you are that I'm. It's not me. You look just like me. I made you in my form, so you take my place, and don't divulge the truth to Surya. Chaya said, "Okay, but I agree to this. But then, if it ultimately uh, so if I agree," he says, "then I shall. But if he unreveals, I mean, if he comes to know of this deception, then I'll have to tell the truth. Till then, I will stage the show. Means the show must go on. I will take care of the show. But if he comes to know of it, I'll have to reveal." So Sanjana left the house. She handed over to Chaya and went. She went to her father's place, Vishwakarma. Vishwakarma got angry. How come you have come here? I've given you in marriage to Surya. You're supposed to take care of him. You have to take care of his house. You are not supposed to come here. Go away from here. So she went away. She went to the forest. Now, where to what to go, what to do? She went to the forest, and there she cannot live just like in the forest. All animals are there. So she converted herself into a mare, horse, or a female horse, a horse, and she lived in that forest as a horse, wandering around all over the place. And Chaya was doing her role very well. She was performing her role very well, and then she also got three children from Surya. They were the eldest one was Savarni Manu, second was Shani Saturn, and third was Tapi River daughter. The third one was a daughter, Tapi River Tapi. So these three children, she took great care of them and all. She also, but then she didn't take so much care of the of Sanjana's children. So, but Vaivasvata Manu was not so this bothered, and Yamuna also was not bothered. But this Yama, he didn't like the ill treatment of Chaya. So, one day when his stepmother did not treat him properly, he lifted his leg to kick her. So when he lifted his leg, she cursed him, saying that this leg that you lifted to kick me will get rotten and fall on the floor, will fall on the earth. Okay. So when he was cursed like this, he got frightened. He what is now in those days curses were always effective. Nothing, nobody could do anything about it. So he went to Surya and told, "See, my mother has cursed me like this. My leg, she has cursed that it will rot and fall to the earth." Surya was surprised. Surya said, "How can any mother curse the child? No mother will curse the child. So there's something wrong here. Whatever it may be, she will not curse. So whatever. So he closed his eyes, went into meditation, and he saw the whole thing, what had happened. Then in that Divya Chakshu, in the Jnana Chakshu, he was able to see that this Chaya was not his wife. She was a Mayavi wife, and so he called Chaya and questioned her. If you don't tell the truth, I will curse you. So now she had no alternative. So she told, yes, I had to keep quiet because Sanjana was not able to bear your heat. So she had created me and she told me to take care of you. And so I had to do this. So she told the whole story. And then, so now Surya, when he came to know this, he decided to go to Vishwakarma. So he went to Vishwakarma and he told Vishwakarma, where is Sanjana? Because to Chaya, she had told, I'm going to my father's house. So he went to Vishwakarma said, Sanjana, when she had come here, I scolded her and I sent back to you. Didn't she not come back? Then Surya said, no, she didn't come back home. So then she must be wandering somewhere else in the forest. So Surya, but then Vishwakarma told why she came here, what reason she had told. So that she could not bear your heat. So you will have to subdue your heat. So Surya said, I cannot subdue my heat by myself. So Vishwakarma put him in one machine, put that Surya into one yantra and reduced his intensity. Now, when Surya became less intense, I mean, now this is there, not 21st ko eclipse, hai, Surya Graha is there. So, in that Grahan time, the intensity of the heat of the Surya is reduced. So, like that, this Surya, his intensity was reduced, and when he went in search of Sanjana. In his in Jnana Chakshu, he came to know that she was the form. He wanted everywhere. He couldn't find her, but he found ultimately when he saw that mare, he knew that this was her, and so he converted himself into a stallion, and he himself became a horse, and then started going after her. Now Sanjana was a bit confused in the sense she didn't want any other husband other than Surya. Even though she is in the form of a horse, some other horse following her means somebody else, some other man ka jaisa hi ho gaya. So she didn't want that. Then he told her. But then because of their chemistry, the he because of that, but Surya was forcefully impregnated her, and Sanjana got annoyed, and she threw that semen out of her body. She just, out of her breath, she snorted, and out of her breath, she threw it out. And from that, this that semen, two children were born. They were the Ashwini Kumaras. The Ashwini Kumaras, they were the doctors, physicians who became physicians to Devas. So, by the worship and devotion to Ganesha, Sanjana achieved. Then, after that, she came back to her original form, and then she worshipped Ganesha, and she was. She became peaceful, and now Surya also, his intensity of heat was reduced. Yama also had begun the penance there. Surya had initiated Yama into the Panchakshara mantra of Ganesha, and so Yama had started penance of Ganesha, and he was chanting the mantra. After 1,000 years, 1,000 heavenly years, that means almost 1,000 years, almost one day of Brahma, he became, he this Ganesha manifested before Yama, and uh, he manifested before Yama, and Yama, he narrated the whole story. Yama told about this whole story of how he was cursed. And Yama, at that time, he sang in praise of Vinayaka. I'll just chant that stotra. It's a very important stotra in the sense that I'll tell you the importance later. नमो गणपते तुभ्यं नानामायाविलासिने मायाधारकवेषेण स्थिताय तु नमो नमः मायामोहविहीनाय साक्षिणे जगदादये ब्रह्मादये ब्रह्मविदे ब्रह्मणे वै नमो नमः अनन्ताय नमस्तुभ्यं हेरम्बाय च दुण्डये विघ्नेशाय त्रिनेत्राय लंबोदर नमोऽस्तु ते गजाननाय देवाय देवानां पतये नमः देवानां गर्वहन्त्रे च रक्षसां मर्दिने नमः भक्तिप्रियाय भक्तेभ्यो नानासौख्यप्रदायते अनन्ताननधाराय अनन्तहस्ताय ते नमः अनन्तशिरसे तुभ्यं ब्रह्मभूताय भेदसे शिवाय शिववन्द्याय शिवदाय नमो नमः अखण्डविभवायैव मूषकध्वजिने नमः मूषकश्रेष्ठबाहस्ते एकदन्ताय ते नमः आदिद मध्यान्तरूपाय सर्वाकाराय ते नमः पाशाङ्कुशधरायैव सर्वभोक्त्रे नमो नमः त्वां स्तोतुं कं समर्थ स्यात् योगाकारस्वरूपिणम् अतो अहं प्रणमाम्यहं तेन तुष्टो भव प्रभो धन्यो अहं सर्वभावै येन दृष्टो गणेश्वर अधुना रक्ष मां भक्तं शरणागत वत्सलम्. So in this manner, he sang in praise of Gananatha. He says that you are the Lord who are Devaya Devanam Pataye, Devana Garvahantre, one who destroys the pride of even of Devas, to you I worship. So this was a special attribute of Ganesha to whom Yama worshipped, and then rest of the things also, just like you have infinite eyes, infinite, you are the Lord of the whole world. All that he praised him, and he says that I am blessed that I got your darshan. And so now Gananatha is pleased with the praise of Yama, and he says that this stotra that you have composed will, anybody who listens or hears or recites this stotra will he okay, yeah, this stotra, that is, he gives a so boon to the Yama, that your all your disease will go away. Means that your leg, which was cursed by Chaya, this worms will eat it up, and immediately once they have eaten it up, that curse I cannot withdraw. So the worms will eat it up, and instantly eat it up, and immediately it will be you will grow another leg in that place. So he blesses that, and then this stotra that you have recited, that it will, all beings will, it will be a bestower of fruits of the deeds of all people according to their karmas. And you, Yama, you will occupy the southern direction, and you will be called Dharma Raja. You will be the ruler of righteousness, that is Dharma, protector of Dharma. So that sense of duty that we have, that is governed by Yamaraj. So that is, so if you say the stotra, you will have they will be spared of unspeakable agonies inflicted by Yama. So those who are fearing of death. So if you chant this stotra, that fear will go away. So that is the importance of this stotra. So now he says that, and now you go, you occupy the southern this, and then you continue my worship there. And anyone, whoever recites the stotra, will be free from the fear of death. And in the end, they will come to Swananda Loka. So this Yamaraja, he prepared an idol. He called it Heramba Ganesha. That idol was a form of Heramba Ganesha, and he installed that idol, and next to it he constructed a pond. And he did puja and worshipped Ganesha, and that pond is the pond where this Brushundi Maharaj and this Yamraj, then afterwards he washed his leg into that pond, and that he got a new leg. Means that completely all that diseased leg was washed off in the water, and he got a new fresh leg. So that how that pond became holy. It is a holy pilgrimage center. And so this son of Ravi, Yama, he began meditation, and that pilgrimage center is very well known and acknowledged. And he became acknowledged for impartiality and justice. So that is a pond where this Brushundi Maharaj, this Yama Nama Brushundi, he was that thief who Nama, when he dipped into that pond, all his sins were washed away. So that is the story. We will further see further how he became. Now his sins were washed. How he became Muni Brishundi with the Shundadanda, that is with the trunk of an elephant. We will see in the next session. In this manner, we end the chapter 59 of the second khand of the Purana Upanishad, Srimad Mudgal Purana. You're on mute, I think. I can't hear you.
I am listening to those sutras, no?
Yeah.
So I am
Yeah,
getting all
listening.
the.
So you will have no fear of death.
I don't have that right now also. Only
Okay.
thing is, I'm becoming lighter and lighter.
Lighter.
Whenever I listen to you,
Mm.
I think I'm getting something which is what you call not available elsewhere.
Okay.
So
Good.
that's why I make it a point to be around time, whatever happens.
So I'm also blessed to have one student at least in front of me. Otherwise, I'll be talking to the screen. Sri Hari has stopped coming because I had changed
What
that
has happened?
admit chahiye. He is not allowed simply entrance, no. So I have to
Ah,
admit him. He has not joined. Anyway, doesn't matter. You have any? Do we want to continue with yesterday's discussion?
no.
No. Come, we'll meditate on this. What we
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
on so far. Putting all thoughts to one side. Place your feet firmly on the floor. Relax into your body. Spine erect. Eyes gently closed. The big smile on your lips. Take a nice deep breath. Watch the breath all the way into your body as you exhale. Inhale to a count of 11. Exhale to a count of 11. Watch your breath. Watch in which part of your body you're feeling more energy. Mm, See whether it is on the left side or the right side, or whether it is on top of your head. See the flow of breath. Try to bring your awareness to the central channel, the Sushumna Nadi, running down all the way from the Sahasrara through the middle of Longata, through the Vishuddhi, Anahat, right all the way along your back to the Swadhisthana at the center of your hip joints, passing on the way through the Nabi, the void, up to your tailbone, pulling up your pelvic area upwards with a slight pressure from below, pulling it upwards. Take your awareness along the spinal column upwards back into the Sushumna Nadi through the Swadhisthana. As the energy moves upwards, through the Manipur chakra, just the back of your belly button on your spinal column. through the sternum, through the anahat, passing through your heart, center heart, up into the neck, and through the neck, along the back of your neck, the base of your brain. Put your attention at the base of your brain, at the medulla oblongata. Put your full focus and attention and breathe into it. This though it's filling with prana vayu. Keep breathing into the medulla oblongata. Feel it as though filled with light energy. As it opens up and follow the path of the two optical nerves along the sides of the ears to the eyes, and from there to the point between your two eyebrows, the point of Hamsa Chakra. It's a very small energy center compared to the other centers, but it is very vital in opening up our Viveka Buddhi, the power of discrimination between right and wrong, the power of sifting through things, being clear about what is real and what is unreal, being able to find out the truth from what is before us, from the appearances, sift through to get to the reality, to the truth of things. Just as a swan is able to sift through a mixture of water and milk and drink only the milk from the mixture. Swan is the vehicle of Goddess Saraswati, who is the deity of the Hamsa Chakra. Hamsavahini, she is riding on a swan. Knowledge happens when we can grasp the essence of whatever information is presented to us. Moving upwards from the Hamsa Chakra to the Agya Chakra, which is 1.5 inches below the surface of the forehead into your head, the point where the Ida Nadi cross and Pingla Nadi cross each other and go into the brain. Below that is the third eye. Between the pituitary and pineal gland, the gap, the passage through which Kundalini passes from the Vishuddhi chakra through the middle of Langatam, above the middle of Langatam, between the gap to the Sahasrara. When this rising energy reaches the Sahasrara, it floods all cells and there is an integration of the energy centers in the brain. This makes us a wholesome personality. The physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual are all integrated, and we function as a complete being. Keep your attention at the Sahasrara and just observe, be the witness. Sakshi Bhava. Breathe into Sahasrara. It is as though you inhale through your Sahasrara and you exhale as well. The air passes through the nose, but you can feel the upward movement of pranavayu to Sahasrara. Remain in this state of thoughtlessness. This is a sahaja state, a very natural state. Observing yourself. This is a very natural state of being, doing nothing. This is a state of beingness, to be, a state of I am, aham, asmi. Slowly wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rub your hands together. Cup your palms and place it on the eyes. Slowly, gently rub your face and open your eyes.